Mitsuo faced a dilemma with an excess of unsold fireworks. An invitation to a barbecue led Mitsuo to contribute otherworldly rabbits, which the mercenary captain suggested could be a lucrative product. The gathering was a welcome respite for the mercenaries amidst a lull in significant assignments. Sen and Sep, two adventurers, expressed interest in Mitsuo's instant tent but lacked sufficient funds. Mitsuo, seeing an opportunity, offered them a discount in exchange for future guild patronage. Chancellor Sar's report to the king painted Mitsuo as an enigmatic yet benign figure, prompting the king to value their relationship. As border troubles loomed, the adventurers stumbled upon a ravaged carriage in the forest. Sabine's visit to Mitsuo's shop ended with an urgent summons to the palace, where the king awaited with an emergency request. The kingdom was on the brink of war with the Alder Empire, a threat that seemed implausible given the empire's known capabilities. The king, concerned for Princess Sabine's safety, requested Mitsuo to escort her abroad. Mitsuo, however, was determined to defend her shop and homeland. Summoned to a war council, Mitsuo encountered Alexis, who was representing his father. The meeting was disrupted by an assailant posing as a messenger, whom Mitsuo and Alexis bravely confronted. Despite their efforts, Alexis was gravely injured. Mitsuo, realizing the limitations of withholding advanced technology, resolved to fully utilize her resources against the Empire. At the mercenary base, Mitsuo sought aid for Alexis and proposed an alliance to combat the Empire, offering a substantial reward. Skeptical, the captain refused until Mitsuo's demonstration of teleportation convinced him of her otherworldly origins. Investigating a commotion, they discovered a group besieged by goblins. The captain and Mitsuo sprang into action, aiding the stranded travelers and ensuring their safety. As the goblins neared, the obstruction was cleared, allowing the caravans to proceed. The river crossing proved difficult, prompting Mitsuo to enlist the captain's protection with a coin's toss. Their initial assault on the goblins was futile until precise headshots proved effective. With ammunition dwindling, Mitsuo contemplated retreat but chose to stand with the villagers. She devised a plan, leaving the captain to fend off the goblins while she vanished momentarily. Upon her return, Mitsuo ignited a blaze to deter the goblins and unleashed a barrage of fireworks, resulting in disarray and the defeat of the enemy handler. The villagers rejoiced, and the captain, now a believer in Mitsuo's tale, agreed to join the battle against the Empire. Rallying the troops with a rousing speech, Mitsuo led the charge, transporting them to another realm. Back at the palace, dire news of an impending enemy force reached the king. As despair set in, Mitsuo's arrival with reinforcements lifted spirits. She assured the king of her commitment to their defense. The forces dispersed to secure the gates, with Mitsuo vowing to safeguard the people. Recognized as the messenger of lightning, she inspired the crowd's cheers. Outside the gates, the enemy awaited, mistaking Mitsuo's approach for a delay tactic. A negotiator was dispatched, only to be wounded by Mitsuo's sniper. The sight of firearms bewildered the enemy, and Mitsuo's troops targeted the monster handlers, sowing chaos within the enemy ranks. The general, in a desperate move, unleashed the monsters, but Mitsuo's forces repelled them, turning the tide back onto the Empire's soldiers. As the battle raged on, the tide turned grim for the enemy troops. With their numbers dwindling, morale plummeted and surrender seemed imminent once their ranks were reduced by a third. Just as they began their retreat, a squadron of wyvern riders descended upon them. The enemy commander rallied his forces for a skyward assault, aiming to pierce the capital's defenses with a hail of spears. Yet the mercenaries were not caught unawares. Their anti-aircraft artillery roared to life, shredding the wyvern riders in an instant and obliterating years of the Empire's investment in training and resources. Amidst the chaos, the earth trembled as a colossal ancient dragon emerged, stunning both friend and foe. The king understood at once. The Empire's sudden onslaught and their dominion over beasts were now clear. The dragon lunged forward in attack, but Mitsa was quick to act, deploying a smokescreen and projecting her image via drone to parley with the beast. The dragon, obstinate, unleashed its fiery breath, which Mitsa narrowly evaded through teleportation. She commanded her forces to open fire, and the dragon, besieged by bullets, began to falter. In response, it conjured a protective barrier, deflecting the onslaught. Undeterred, Mitsa devised a strategy. As the dragon lowered its guard to attack, she teleported daringly before it and fired a rocket straight into its gaping maw. The impact shattered a tooth, and as the dragon reeled from the blow, Mitsa retreated to safety. The barrage continued, and sensing defeat, the dragon fled. The enemy general's pleas went unheeded as Mitsu's forces pressed their advantage, driving the empire back. In the aftermath, the kingdom soldiers discovered the dragon's dislodged tooth. Mitsa generously bestowed it upon the captain as a token of victory. The city rejoiced in their triumph, and Mitsa was hailed as a hero. At the palace, the king inquired about her absent allies, to which she replied they had departed. Sabine arrived, relieved at Mitsa's well-being. Following the events, Mitsa received a concerned letter from Colette and a royal summons from Sabine. At the palace, the king honored the war's heroes, bestowing Alexis with nobility for his valor. When Mitsa's recognition came, she selflessly requested that her comrades be compensated, fulfilling her promise of a hefty reward. Moved by her gesture, the nobility pooled their wealth to fulfill the debt. The king, impressed, asked if Mitsa desired anything further. With humble grace, she sought only to be named a citizen of the kingdom, a request the king was all too pleased to grant. The king grants Mitsa the title of Viscountess. She brings the gold to the captain, who urges her to keep it, revealing that he sold the dragon's tooth to a professor. The academic's analysis predicts infinite applications, ensuring the captain's imminent wealth. Mitsa questions whether they'll retire from mercenary life, but the captain assures her they'll be available whenever she needs them. In the royal court, Mitsa's nobility is officially recognized. The king suggests she accept Alexis's title in his absence, but she declines, causing a stir among the nobles. Just then, Alexis arrives, ready to receive his title in person. Mitsa later visits Colette and shares her recent experiences. When Colette begins to treat her with undue formality, Mitsa insists that despite her noble title, she remains the same person Colette first met. The story concludes with Mitsa closing her shop, moving to her new lands to enjoy her retirement. And with that, our story comes to an end. If you've enjoyed this recounting, please show your support with a like and subscribe for more stories.